this next portion that we're going to get to is a little bit more, we got to do a little bit more digging, right? Because fans are running wild right now with split rumors between Kaitlyn Bristowe and Jason Tartick, and also Michael Alio and Danielle Maltby. So let's start with Kaitlyn and Jason. I feel like we're probably going to spend the most time talking about these two today because it is everywhere. So fans have noticed just suspicious social media activity between these two lately. First and foremost, this started because they haven't really been seen together in the past couple of weeks. They've been taking vacations without each other. Kaitlyn has been on her Instagram stories a lot, notably without her ring on. And, just my opinion before we get into some other things that she posted, as an engaged woman, I don't walk around with my ring on 24/7. But I think when you're Kaitlyn Bristowe and you have, 2 million Instagram followers once, okay. Twice, okay. But when you start to have multiple Instagram stories every single day with no engagement ring on, you have to assume that people are going to notice and they're going to start questioning. So, not only that, Kaitlyn has been posting some cryptic things lately. The first one I want to talk about is an Instagram story that actually was up for like a minute and then deleted. But of course, Bachelor Nation is always on it, and somebody screenshotted it. It's been on Reddit, it's been on Twitter. It said, I cannot believe the audacity of people to expect things from me when I haven't even been able to process things for myself. Have a bleeping heart. You're scaring me with your comments and demands. I'm almost worried about you. So that was posted and very quickly deleted. I feel like it's pretty cryptic, but it doesn't end there because after she deleted that, she shared the lyrics of her 2020 song, If I'm Being Honest, to her Instagram feed. So the first post was a story, the second post is on her feed, and the lyrics in the picture says this: just because I'm an open book, don't mean you get the whole story. And if I'm being honest, I'm not always as tough as I seem. I can have my moments, but words can get the best of me. And the words that I say to myself are the ones that hit the hardest. Okay. So there's two examples of her posting some cryptic things. Here is piece of evidence number three. She posted a selfie on her Instagram story over the weekend and she was crying. She wrote on the story, just know that the highlights are mostly posted about. You're not alone in your struggles. So I feel like, kind of the same thing I was saying about Kaitlyn not being seen with her ring on. One cryptic Instagram story you can kind of chalk up to maybe she's just in her feels today. But if you're doing three in a row, on top of not wearing your wedding ring, on top of not being seen together for quite some time, on top of taking vacations together, um, it's not confirmed, but it's just my opinion that they probably have broken up. They both are posting things about the dogs, right? Where they both live in Nashville. And it kind of seems like they're taking turns seeing the dogs. Jason posted a solo picture in his car earlier this week with the two dogs. And then the next day, Kaitlyn posted an Instagram story with the dogs. So some people are like, see, they're together because they're posting with the dogs. Other people are like, they're dropping the dogs off. I mean, it is absolute mayhem out here when it comes to Kaitlyn and Jason. People are flooding the comment section, as you can imagine. And, I want to say that I'm surprised, but I'm really not. And like I said, nothing has been confirmed yet. This is just speculation. But they've been engaged for quite some time, and every time we hear them talk about a potential wedding venue, a potential wedding date, it's the lack of, right, that they don't have a wedding venue, that they don't have a wedding date. I believe it was, I think about a year ago, Kaitlyn did an interview talking about their struggles wedding planning. And she was saying, everything I like, Jason doesn't like. And, he has a specific vision, and I would just go get married at the courthouse. So we haven't heard any wedding updates, no date, no venue, no nothing. And then on top of that, all of this other stuff. Now, on the flip side of things, I feel like, Bachelor Nation, we always want answers because we do fall in love with these couples, not necessarily Kaitlyn and Jason on TV, but we know them both from reality dating shows. But I think it's important to note that just because we watched them on a reality TV show fall in love doesn't necessarily mean that they're famous. And I understand. You have to follow me here because what I'm trying to get at is there's two different types of reality stars. You have Bachelor Nation, who, they could be working in insurance, they apply to be on The Bachelor, they get one season, they go to paradise, and then their life seemingly goes back to normal. Sometimes they're able to make a career out of it, being an influencer, being a host, what have you. I feel like it's getting less and less common these days. But then you have reality stars like Vanderpump Rules, where it is your job to show every little facet of your life. A reality star like someone on Vanderpump Rules is not the same as someone that did a stint on The Bachelor. So to do maybe 2, 3 seasons of the Bachelor franchise, however many years ago for Kaitlyn, and to still have people constantly have your relationship under a microscope, I feel like could be a hard pill to swallow, especially like she said, on her Instagram story, she is trying to wrap her head around this herself. She could potentially be having the very, heartbreaking human experience of going through a breakup, and because Bachelor Nation is so invested, she feels all this pressure to come out and say something when she's not really ready to talk about it. Um, on the flip side of things, because I'm just trying to look at all angles, if Caitlyn and Jason are together and they're letting this speculation kind of run rampant, that also is a little annoying, right? Because if they're together, how hard is it to just get on an Instagram story and say, look, guys, we're together. You can stop now, and that would be the end of it. But they're not doing that, which makes me feel like, something is up.